Common types of boiler faults. Most problems with central heating system are easy and cheap to fix. However, when something more serious arises, it is best to contact a heating engineer or plumbing mechanic to provide the most effective and quickest solution to the problem. Here is a list of some of the most common problems that homeowners experience with central heating systems. The thermostat controls stop working. In some cases, the homeowner has forgotten to switch on their thermostat. The temperature should always be set between 17 to 20 degrees centigrade, as this is recommended as a good temperature range. If the radiator fails to heat up, the next step is to check the programmers to make sure the HW, hot water, and CH, central heating, setting is on. From here, the next step involves checking whether electricity is supplying the system. This also includes checking on the heating fuse, as it might have blown. If this is not the problem, there might be an issue with the motorized diverter valve. This part controls hot water flow. Turning it off and then turning it back on again may solve this issue. Finally, if this does not solve the issue, the pump may have broken down. This is the device that pumps the heated water from a flow pipe so that it can flow into the radiators and the taps. Mechanical failure and blockage are two of the most common problems with this part. If the pump is clogged, it will require an intensive clean to get rid of the dirt that has accumulated inside. Trapped air can also cause the pump to stop working. There is a very small nut that will help to release any excess air. As soon as any water starts to flow out while releasing the trapped air, the nut can then be closed again. From here, the device can be tested again to determine whether it is working. The radiator only warms up at the bottom. This issue is actually common and is easy to fix. The solution involves bleeding the radiator. The pump needs to be switched off to stop air from getting inside the system. Use a bucket under the radiator. On one side of the radiator on the top is a brass square nut that can be opened with a radiator key by turning the nut in an anti-clockwise direction. This will allow any hot air inside the radiator to escape. As this happens, any dirty water will flow into the bucket. These radiator keys are easy to find in most hardware stores. This tool is essential for bleeding a radiator. After bleeding the radiator, the valve must be closed properly to check that there are no leaks. Sludge in the heating system. This commonly occurs due to a buildup of debris inside the radiator. This buildup must be flushed out by taking the radiator off the wall and then flushing it out with fast-running water. If this step does not solve the issue, the pump may be broken, a pipe might be blocked, or the heating system is poorly designed. Strange noises coming from the heating system. Kettling is the common name used for a sound that a boiler makes. If the boiler starts making this noise the first time that the pilot light is ignited, it may be caused by trapped air. The excess air can be vented out of the air bleed screw. If this fails to solve the problem, check whether enough water is reaching the boiler tank. These problems can also come about due to a buildup of sludge. Flushing the system is the best way to solve this problem. If the system is pressurized, make sure the setting is at the correct level. The overflow doesn't stop. With a system or traditional boiler, the water tank situated in the loft will feed water to the heating system. If the ball cock is jammed, it will create an overflow problem. When it comes to immersion tanks, only an expert plumber should be handling these issues. The heating system pressure drops dramatically. The pressure gauge needs to be checked when dealing with this problem. There are many reasons why this problem occurs, from excess air inside the system after bleeding out the radiator to water leakages. After a maintenance service, the system needs to be topped up with water if there is a noticeable pressure drop. Expert engineers who have extensive experience installing central heating systems in London suggest using the filling loop to add more water. For those that are not sure about handling this task, it is always better to hire a professional to successfully complete the job. When central heating systems break down due to a boiler defect, this can turn into a very costly affair. Losing hot water during the winter months is not a pleasant experience. If you are faced with a problem, contact our company at Emergency Plumber. Solve your problem as fast as possible. Central heating is one of the essential parts of any home to keep the home comfortable and warm, especially during the coldest months of winter. Here is more information explaining what costs are included to install new central heating and boiler systems in residential homes.